2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Place your money line, prop, and parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Iowa only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
All right, Panther fans, Tony Dunn here. It's the C3 podcast bringing you the Panthers at Steelers post-game show. It's really just a calamity at this point. A catastrophe is what we witnessed tonight. The Pittsburgh Steelers put up 52 points, 52-21. It's going to be a sad state of affairs tonight on the post-game show. I'm here to mourn the Carolina Panthers, Eric Reed, and all the trash we saw tonight with Joe Riolano and Cody Lashney. Joe, I won't say how are you. Joe, introduce yourself to the trashy post-game podcast.
Well, for the fans of the trashy, I am Joe Riolano, and I'm here to discuss this post-game or I don't know if you can call it a game, this post-beatdown that the Panthers took tonight. I'm ready to get the show going so we can get it over with. Frankly.
Yeah, that's the truth. Cody, how did this change your opinion of the Panthers team?
Well, I went from saying we had a shot to win the whole thing to saying Alabama would beat the shit out of this football team, dude. It's bad, man. My Clemson Tigers would beat the shit out of this football team. I'm going to mind my manners tonight, but I'm just going to say this right now, and ain't nothing to it but to just say it. They beat the fuck out of our asses, and we deserved it.
It's late enough to say that. We have past the point where the FCC, if we were really a regulated entity, would even care. In fact, I think there would be an exception tonight. All right. It's the C3 Panthers podcast post-game show. You can call into the show. The number is 252-228-5098. We will play your call, and that's all I can guarantee about anything at this moment is that we'll play the call.
We do a show on Tuesday nights for the longest running Panthers podcast, and it's a 9 p.m. We're usually I don't know if I've ever been sad on the podcast, really. Maybe after Super Bowl. That was it. The only time I've ever been sad doing this podcast, even after losses. But this is going to be painful. It was painful, and it's not going to get any easier. So you know the number. Check us out on Tuesday nights. And I'll start off with saying this. The only good news out of all of this for me is that my birthday is Sunday, and I really have 3 days till Monday. I'm probably not going to even watch football this weekend. I mean, I don't even really care what happens. I need to come back and see the Carolina Panthers play another team before I can even care about football going forward.
Step away. And I remember last show you were saying your wife might buy you tickets or a Dante Jackson jersey. Yeah, you might want to switch to the jersey at this point, man. That might be a better long-term
It might be a waste of money if you go see Panther play.
I mean, I don't even want to buy a real Dante Jackson jersey at this moment. At this moment, the only jersey I will buy is a Chinese Alibaba $25 jersey.
But I mean, you know what? Listen, let's just say what it is, man. The offensive line and the defensive line are absolute trash. At every moment, they bullied. They absolute bullied, like fifth graders beating up on second graders, our offensive line, and they beat the hell out of Cam Newton. He had absolutely no chance. And then when it was our defense's turn, they couldn't do a damn thing. Every third down, they converted. I mean, there might have been one that they didn't.
I think they had 2 or 3 all game.
Oh, my bad. The 2 of them. You know, football is won in the trenches. And if you don't win there, you're a bad football team. And bottom line, I mean, I don't know if we were just under an illusion to what this football team was because of their other performances, or if the Steelers are just that badass. It's hard to know. But as of right now, this is just I don't know. It's so bad. I don't even know how to evaluate the performance.
Joey, I was sitting there with Miranda watching the game, and I said, I don't even know, like Cody was saying, how to interpret what's happening. I mean, at one point early in the game, when that first touchdown on the first offensive play that they had, where James Bradbury bit on nothing, it seemed like he just ran forward.
Yeah.
Frank Garcia tweeted out that is James Bradbury on drugs? And I tweeted back, and I think I said something like, I should have said, am I on drugs? That's how I felt tonight.
You had to be to watch this game, man. You had to be.
All right, my question to you, Joey, on this is, have you ever seen a game where the Panthers were just beat so badly? I attended in 2010, and I sat on the 4th row of the 45-yard line right behind the Saints bench, and I watched them beat us 33-3. And I still, in that game, don't even think it was as bad as this.
Remember we went and saw the Saints play?
Yeah.
I think it was it last year or
yep,
the year
last
before?
year. It was last year, I think.
Yeah, that was one time I remember thinking, God, will this please end? Just because you didn't want to see the other team score a touchdown again. And that's how it was in this game. It was like, my God, are they scoring again? I mean, we could really do nothing to stop them. And it was obvious. It was so obvious that the offensive and defensive lines were just, you might as well not have been out there, man.
Nah, I mean, like Cody said, is that there was no win on either one of those. You know, I would say this is that early on, first drive of the game, we march right down Christian McCaffrey's show all day long. He scored a touchdown, and I'm excited at that point. We're coming out on Thursday night in the prime time. McCaffrey's dealing. Cam looked composed in that. The play call, like we looked like things were under control. They scored 2 times in 13 seconds. Two consecutive plays. Their offense played 1 play and their defense played 1 play, and they scored 14 points.
Yep, that's like that.
So it's catastrophe at that point. Now, as the game went on, and we're going to get right into the calls. These are the only thoughts I think I have is that as the game went on, I thought that I know that a lot of people are going to talk about. I saw one person say that we got out schemed, and if the scheme is for you to just suck a bag of whats, that was our scheme tonight. Like I wish I could say that the Steelers even did anything good, but I feel like we just gave them everything, like it completely. But
Right.
I know a lot of people are going to say, look, coaching, or they could say coaching and some things like this, but I just feel like our players got beat the hell up. Kind of like this is what it feels like to face Mike Tyson when he was in his prime. But except for you're not facing Mike Tyson. You were facing a team that was good, maybe very good, but I don't even think great. We were the worst I've ever seen our team today. Cody, but as the game goes on, it just continued to get away. Are you even to me, Cody, this is what I would say is that every single player played bad today. Even if you want to say that Christian McCaffrey played good for a quarter, he still got trucked like 7 times in this game trying to make blocks. So I think every single player played bad, Cody.
Yeah, you know why Ben Roethlisberger was taken out in the fourth quarter? He didn't want to face any more rape charges.
Oh,
that's what I heard.
Wah, wah, wah.
But yeah, I had to. I'm sorry. We had to have some kind of laughter in this shit, dude. Yeah, man. Listen, I don't even know. I mean, I really am dumbfounded. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I knew there was a possibility that we might lose this, but to lose the way that we did, and yeah, listen, I'm tough on the coaches a lot, but damn, Ron Rivera can't play left tackle. You know what I mean? The offensive line failed on every measure.
I'm ready. I wish we could even. I'm not even that upset because, I know they did, but at the same time, our defense failed at every measure. I wish I could say it was just the defensive line or the offensive line, but they played like trash, but so did every other single person.
Everyone was absolutely embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing. And this meant a lot to David Tepper. Mm-hmm. I mean, he buys the Panthers, goes back to his home, and then just his team does this. I mean, this is the heads will roll type of performance.
He had this date circled on his calendar. He was looking forward to this. And we went up there and just got handed our backside. And he can't be happy. He's got to be furious. He
paid what was it? How much did he pay for the Panthers? $3 billion?
2.7.
I thought it was, like 2.5.
Okay, so he paid like $2.5 billion to stumble into the pawn shop in Pulp Fiction as Ving Rhames, and then that's what he paid for tonight. And I don't know if you guys remember what happened to Ving Rhames in Pulp Fiction, but it included a ball gag, a gimp, and a lot of bad stuff that was horrific to watch. That is what David Tepper paid $2.5 billion for tonight. His homecoming party.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, look, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get into the calls. We'll let you guys kind of tell us your thoughts on whatever this was. The number's 252-228-5098. Check us out Tuesday nights at @cat_chronicles. Like the video. That costs you nothing. Go ahead and turn your phone to portrait. Smash the thumbs up button. Because think about this, that's free. David Tepper paid $3.5 billion for that tonight. All right. Here we go. Here's the calls. I don't even know where this is going to go.
Jeff here again. I'm at a loss for words. I guess the O-line is really what we expected at the beginning of the year. Norv had no answers for the pressure. Putting McCaffrey on a defensive lineman and expect him to hold up? Are you serious? And it's just I can't wait to watch the All-21, but I already know the answers from that one. Eric Washington is not putting our players in positions to win. We have the players. We have the talent. We have the chemistry on defense. He had a terrible game plan for the Steelers tonight. Cam Newton did all he could. I mean, that interception in the end zone, yeah, he probably should have taken a safety there. But
he should have thrown it at Greg Olson's feet. That's what he should have done. Is thrown it at his feet, not up in the freaking air.
Maybe not even take the safety there. Maybe something else. Maybe run forward and try to get the ball out. I don't know. Something other than throw the pick six. But that was his only mistake. Other than that, he played pretty much flawless with the trash O-line. I don't know what we're going to have to do, boys, but we're going to have to do it fast. Thanks. Keep pounding.
All right. I thought this is that that was that may have been the dumbest play of Cam's career, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much can you blame him when he has
you can't even
2
defend
seconds in the pocket, though?
Nah, I mean, the whole field was right there, right in front of. I would rather take an intentional grounding.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're in the end zone, should you have thrown it down? Listen, no one. I mean, if you look at Cam's numbers, his numbers weren't bad tonight. Other than Christian, he probably played the best. But yeah, should he have thrown it down? Yeah, absolutely. But just trying to not have a safety called on him. Yeah, but to this, to the caller's point about the defense, yeah, I'm not convinced that Eric Washington is a good coordinator. He might be a great defensive line coach, but I'm not so sure that he's the man for the job. And I know everyone hates him right now, but yeah, it's bad, man. It's absolutely bad.
Well, I feel like I've been to the point where I've been protected. I've been optimistic about Eric Washington, or at least maybe not even optimistic, but neutral and not ready to blame him for anything. Now, I don't think you can even. I think this is that I'm not blaming him tonight more than I'm blaming any other person. That's what I will say. But he is not immune. Like when your defense is that bad, he's part of the problem tonight. He wasn't part of the solution, that was for sure. There was no solution in the horizon. It was so bad. I really, Joe, I've never seen a team that looked like they just never showed. We quit after. I mean, I wouldn't say we quit. The players don't quit, but it looked like they were in a fog.
Yeah, they were. I don't want to say they quit, but it's almost like they lost interest. Like they were out there going through the motion.
They were defeated.
No passion and no fire.
Yeah, defeated.
And I think you could see that when the camera went to the Panthers bench and they showed Kuechly and they showed Thomas Davis. They just were sitting there with these blank look on their faces.
Yeah, I noticed that too, man. And I saw that even when the game hadn't gotten away from us yet.
Right.
Yeah, they're on the sideline like, put some pep in your step, man. I mean, come on. You're on the road. Defense is supposed to travel. Our defense didn't travel. Our defense didn't get on the plane.
Our team suffered a concussion. Like our whole team was hit so hard in the face in a car accident, or they were in such a train wreck that the entire team had a concussion. And now we have PTSD after this.
But you want to know what kind of pisses me off, though? The fact that we might have a winning record at the end of the year. We might, maybe 9-7, maybe 10-6. But the fact that we'll still be middle of the road the rest of the year, probably, and yet we know that there's no chance at anything more. Like, this told us who the Panthers are. So there's no top 10 draft pick. There's, I mean, we've done enough for people to not lose their jobs unless Tepper decides, nope, I'm going to do something brand new, totally different,
Well, yeah. All right, next call, 252-228-5098.
Hey, y'all. What's happening? This is G. Cavassier.
What's up, G?
What an ass whipping. Man, we got demolished tonight, man. It was embarrassing. My God, man. I just don't know what the hell happened, But in reality, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear me say this, but we still can make the playoffs. There's still 7 games left. So for all my Panther fans out there, just relax. Just relax.
I appreciate the
yes,
optimism.
I wish we would have won this game. And I grew up in a Steelers household because both my parents are from Pittsburgh, and I was always brought up to love the Pittsburgh Steelers and hate the Cleveland Browns. So we can take his ass whipping, you know what I'm saying? But let it be known, there's 7 games left, and we still can make the playoffs. So we always remember, keep pounding, and I will cry myself to sleep once I get done drinking my beer.
Well, thank you, G. That's a true Panther fan right there, is my man. No, I mean, it is real that this was, I go on Pirate Radio 1250 every Friday, guys, and we have talked a couple of times, Clip and I, on the sports bar about how would you rather get blown out or lose by, lose by a fumble at the end. And I tell you, the at least with a blowout is that every single person is accountable. And this is a true burn the tape, but also maybe burn some contracts if this doesn't if these guys don't change their attitude. So the number's 252-228-5098. It's the C3 Panthers at Steelers postgame calamity and catastrophe episode.
Hey, what's up, C3? This Nova Black, man, and I'm very, very, very frustrated with the bull crap that I seen out there tonight. The offensive line, they were very, very lethargic. I mean, half-assed like a motherfucker. Go ahead and beat me out, because damn right I said
I'm not beeping nobody tonight.
That was some bullshit performance that they put out there tonight. Also, we can't beat the refs and the Steelers, man. A lot of bullshit was going on. A lot of dirty plays was going on out there. I noticed that the refs act like they were blind. They can't see it. The defensive backs holding out wide receivers and everything. I mean, it's crazy. You see wide receivers out there holding the linebackers when they trying to tackle on the run. Like, what the hell? You see it all. When you guys get a chance to watch the tape, y'all see some of that bull crap that's going on out there. Refs wasn't giving us no calls. That bull crap ejection on Eric Reed pissed me off because Big Ben slid late. If you watched it, you could see that he was already going low for the tackle.
Yeah.
Before Big Ben even started to slide. Big Ben started sliding late, and you see Reed, once he noticed Big Ben was starting to slide, he tried to let up. That's why he turned. But they won't kick him out because, they mad about that protest thing. Another thing, man, listen, Eric Washington, I can't with him. Like, you playing Pittsburgh, man, all this soft zone coverage and stuff that you doing, ain't trying to put no pressure on Big Ben. Got Luke got the whole fucking linebacker court dropping in the coverage, man. They've been blitzing us every down on the weak side. Got daggone Christian McCaffrey trying to block a freaking defensive tackle. What the hell? TJ
That's
Anderson,
the truth.
Fucking pass protect running back in the damn league last year. Why they ain't got him out there helping protect CMC struggling against these big ass linebackers and stuff out here? I just don't get it. My biggest problem is the defensive play calling. They let us down. I feel like we could have stayed in this game, but we could have just got some better defense. But I'm going to leave it at that because I'm pissed off. I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of these guys get in here on their calls. I'm going to take my butt to bed because I am very royally pissed, and I think I need to get me some sleep since I drive trucks and I got to be to work in the morning. So you guys keep pounding. I know we're going to watch the film and be better next week, take it out on everybody else, but we got a long way to go into the next game. So, yeah, peace.
My boy,
God, I mean, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Joe,
can I pinpoint that real quick? That one play that he's talking about on third down, we drop all of our linebackers into coverage, all of our backfield, and like 2 of our defensive linemen. Dude, it's asinine, bro. Like, what kind of call is that?
Joe, what'd you think about the Reed hit?
I think it was a cheap shot. I do. I knew it was a cheap shot. I think there was some frustration involved. I don't think he deserved to get kicked out.
I mean, that's kind of, but at the end of the day, I'm not ready to say he let up either. I don't think he was trying to hurt the guy. It was a a little boom play, but at that point, now I saw somebody say in the chat room, Eric Reed's the only one that played with some heart. Now, if you call that playing with heart, then Vernon Butler also played with heart when he mashed that dude in the face. That play is going to get the flag in the NFL not 10 out of 10 times. And even Cam Newton gets that flag this year. I would say this is that it deserved the flag. I wasn't even super like pissed that he was kicked out. In fact, I'm okay with it. At that point, who really even cares? I would want to be kicked out of that game.
Basically.
But I mean, you at least somebody and here's the heart. I think what they mean when they play with heart is that somebody had to at least show a little emotion. And I don't think that's it. But look, Ben dapped him up afterwards. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't clean by any mean. But it was. It's what I would have done.
It's not something that they should kick you out for.
Right.
It wasn't that egregious.
Cody, would you have done it?
I don't know, man.
I would try. We tried to hurt Fitzpatrick last week, not in a dirty way, but and Ron Rivera made it clear that he approved that we were that physical, because that's what you do in football to get in someone's head. At this point, if as long as you ain't trying to injure the guy, but you're just trying to really just whomp him real good, I would have done it too. That's how mad I was.
I mean, it's football, and you have to ask,
I'll take the penalty.
Did Ben slide too late? Maybe. Listen, I will say this, though. I do commend Eric for not getting into a brawl, because right after David DeCastro, I think is the right guard for the Steelers, started getting in his face. They started pushing on him and shoving him, and he didn't throw any punches. He didn't even put his hands in their face mask. He just backed up and just took it for what it was. He didn't try and start no fights. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like this, is that I'm taking that penalty. I'm just going to take it.
The last person I'm mad at is Eric Reed. Let me tell you that.
Well, I'm mad at him too. I'm mad at everybody. Actually, I'm not even mad at them. I'm not mad at y'all. This is the one time that the Panthers owe us now. The Carolina Panthers team owes us next week against the Lions in 10 days a beatdown of epic proportions to a team to tell us that they have a backbone. I need them to go to Detroit. That is where we're going, right?
Yep.
I need to go to Detroit, and I need to put up Like, I need a 35-10 win, and I need it to be a whooping. I need it to be physical. I need people crushing people, and they need to do that for us. Not only for them, but they owe us. And I tell you who they owe the most is the fans. I wanted to go to this game. Imagine making, like, the person that makes $30,000 a year, and they spent $2,000 to go to this game. They spent, like, over like 10% of their salary before taxes, and that's what you had to endure. The Panthers owe us. The number's 252-228-5098.
It took me until 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter to realize that this is our Chicago game.
Oh, it's
This
worse.
is Jeff Hodge again. Keep pounding.
Yeah, way worse than Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago, we didn't let them score a touchdown. All of their touchdowns were defensive touchdowns. Their offense did whatever they wanted to.
Anybody that we thought was good on the Panthers last week, you know, we come out and we say, don't be hard on James Bradbury. Well, you know what? Be hard on him this week. I'm not saying run him out of town. You know, who you want to be hard on? Let's be hard on everybody. Every single person. Like I said, they owe us. Numbers 252-228-5098.
Yeah, I'm not even mad about this loss.
That's how I really am.
Totally
I'm not
honest
even
with you,
upset.
any
Like, you're
Panther
wasting
fan
your
who
injury.
thought that we were going to go into Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh, you're probably dreaming.
No,
Pittsburgh across
I
the board
disagree
is
with
a
that point.
better built team overall than the Panthers. Not taking
No,
anything away from the Panthers, but it was on display. The difference between the Panthers and the Steelers on both sides of the ball is our defensive line and our offensive line. Ben Roethlisberger at one point was freaking 18 for 20 for 300 yards. Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, the dude was practically standing still in the back of the pocket. Cam Newton got sacked 4 times. Well, at least this far through 3 quarters he had.
Yeah, he probably caught. That was through 3 quarters.
You take I mean, just clear as day. The difference between the two is offensive and defensive line. I thought Cam Newton, besides the Aaron throw for interception, played well. Christian McCaffrey has proven that he really is our only playmaker that can do anything with the football besides Cam Newton. DJ Moore is obviously lacking in the route running department. But I mean, come on. Juju Smith, Antonio Brown, Vance McDonald, Stephen Ridley, James Conner. I mean, it's not even close. But, yeah. The thing is, we really need to address our defensive line. Offensive line kind of got exposed a little bit for really being what they were, just kind of patchwork. And just did with Norv Turner's scheme, just allows Cam Newton not to get hit a whole bunch. But unfortunately, it happened a lot today. So, on to next week. Not upset about the loss. I was fully expecting the Panthers to get blown out. Sorry, I'm a realistic fan. I just didn't think Carolina was fully equipped to play Pittsburgh on a Thursday night, given the difference in quality of players on both sides of the ball for each team. But then nonetheless, we're still a playoff team, and we still got a good shot to take the division. Keep pounding, and I'll tune in next week.
So, I don't. The premise that I disagree with there is that we never had a chance before the game started. You know, is that this was an opportunity for us to prove to ourselves and to the league that we were the caliber of team, the LA Rams, the Kansas City Chiefs, the New Orleans Saints even, and what we proved to ourselves is we're not that caliber of team. But, you know, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, and Curtis Samuel, they, in many ways, early on, they just were swinging it out to him, and it was working. It was working enough, and I think this is at the end of the second quarter. I think this is the play. The play that ended the game is when it was shotgun, It was 3rd and 21. Carolina on the 43. Passing. We blew that drive. All right, so you have the 2-minute warning. The Carolina Panthers at this point, I think, are down. They could have closed within 10. You score a touchdown, I think we would have been, I think it was somewhere around that, is that we would have gone into the half potentially down 10, but instead we just, we blew it. So if you go into the half down 10, all of a sudden this game, you can kind of talk yourself into it, maybe. DJ Moore, they swing it out to him, he would get yards. Swing it out to Curtis Samuel, he'd get yards. Christian McCaffrey, he'd get yards in those cases. But what happened was is that everything that possibly could go wrong went wrong. Even when you fumble a punt or whatever it was what was that kick that Curtis Samuel? I think it was Curtis Samuel. Everything possibly that went wrong could go wrong to the point where it just spiraled out of control. The feeling that I had is this is what it feels like to be a good person who gets drunk and makes some bad decisions, maybe drives home, and all of a sudden finds themselves in prison for 10 years. It just was like a catastrophe of events that cascaded into, really just prison time. And the prison time for us is the next 10 days until we figure out what the hell is going on.
Well, good news is we have Detroit, who's not been playing very well themselves. And, just looking at things on paper, seems we are more talented. Now, whether or not that translates on the field is yet to be determined. I just hope a loss like this doesn't
break the team.
Yeah, kind of, just put them in
tailspin.
Yeah, into a tailspin where the whole season is just shot now.
Well, because the game was a tailspin.
It was just, one disaster after another.
It was the moment in Top Gun where Goose dies.
Yeah. Over and over and over.
And I don't even like Top Gun. 252-228-5098.
Oh my God. That was one of the worst first halves I've ever seen the team make, possibly. Definitely the worst one of the season.
I think it's one of the worst first halves in football history, to be honest.
Terrible mistakes. The O-line looking like the O-line that we thought they were in the beginning.
Yep.
What is going on? Eric Washington is not putting the defense in the proper place to make plays. That is apparent. None of our playmakers are ever around the ball. Unless it's late. I hope they can go into the half and turn things around. I'm confident that the offense can go down and score. I'm more than confident that they can score. But I'm not confident that they can score another 30 or 40 points like may be needed. Because our defense looks ridiculous right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jeff Hodge calling. First time. Been on the chat line a couple times. Just want to give my thoughts on the first half. Great show, guys. And keep having me.
All right, man. We got a couple calls from the first half. There's some early calls, and then we still got some calls that just came in. Thanks, Jeff Hodge, for that. We appreciate that. We're here for each other. We're on the couch. We've done this before. When we lost 8 games in a row one time, I'm pretty sure. Joey, do you remember, was it 2014?
I think that's right.
We've been on the couch before as Panther fans, and we're here for you. And it's free. It is free. Like, we're even gonna mess with your insurance. All right.
This is
Jeff Hodge
therapy session.
Yeah, that's right. Look, Jeff Hodge is back from More Time on the Couch.
Again, I'm utterly convinced that the NFL distinctly wants certain teams to win certain games. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but every single scoring play goes under review. They didn't even review that one, and he clearly didn't have control going out of bounds, and then he ran into the goalpost and dropped the fucking ball. That's not maintaining the catch regardless of whatever's in the way. It doesn't matter, right? Like, that is the most ridiculous call I've seen all season, and they didn't even review it when I thought all scoring plays were reviewed. They immediately kicked the fucking extra point. You cannot be serious. Looks like Destiny says we're supposed to lose this damn game. Cam Newton's probably going to put up 5 more touchdowns, and we're still going to lose. That's the way it feels right now. I have faith, but
you have faith.
The defense has got to step
up. We'll be here all night crying about this damn game.
Everybody's in the wrong position. Luke's in the wrong position.
Yeah,
he's in the wrong position.
Everybody's bad
again on the slant play.
And it's not all Washington. This was also them not making
dude
any
from
plays.
UNC Chapel Hill.
How does the guy that's named Samuels, who I've never even heard of, and I live in the state that he played college football all of a sudden, and now the other Samuel, who's supposed to be amazing, all of a sudden they look like I thought he played for the other team all of a sudden. Curse Sam. All right, let's. I don't even got a problem with the touchdown. Is that it's still they beat it? He beat us. He caught it. I'm all right. Whatever. There's a couple of plays that I did have problems with. We had to challenge to get a first down where it was clear we got a first down. Why do we got a challenge when Christian McCaffrey was across the damn line? It was a first down. The other thing is we're getting beat down. It's like a dang snuff film or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like the worst possible thing that could be ever in the existence. And then they gave the Steelers a first down. They just said, hey, he got first down. He was 2 yards short. At some point, isn't it good for the NFL to keep it close? If it is all rigged, why you rigging it to get this thing out of hand? He was down in this. And then it sucks Dante Jackson. I don't think it was a penalty. I don't think it was worth it, but I think that Dante Jackson's frustration, they made it on the telecast. Do you guys think that the frustration was he didn't get the call or he really didn't make the play? I think it was a lot of, I didn't make the play. I think he was so mad because he could have. And, he's coming out. He's a rookie that's going to go on fire. He's playing Antonio Brown. He falls down. He was tugged a little bit by the jersey, a little savvy veteran move. But I think, man, he was pissed.
Yeah, it might have been both. I feel when you saw him slamming his hands on the bench and really just pitching a temper tantrum, let's be honest, then I think that was he probably knew that he just, we've been talking about him being the defensive rookie of the year. This is a big night for him on Antonio Brown, no less. And by the way, that's what we were all saying. That's the matchup that we wanted.
Yep.
Well,
we got
the matchup that we wanted, and it didn't go the way that we wanted. And I think DJ was just disappointed. He's a competitor. He felt that he probably could have made that play. But I don't know. What are you going to do?
I think our players got kicked in the gonads tonight. So that's why I don't even want to be – that's why I'm only so upset with the coaches is that at some point you have to win your matchup. And the offensive line was so bad and the defensive line was so bad, I can't even single out a player. You know how a lot of – last year we were like Matt Khalil was trash tonight. Matt Khalil was trash. It was Matt Khalil. It was Matt Khalil, or it was the center, Larson. It was every single one of them was bad. And then on the defensive line, the only player that maybe even worth talking, saying, all right, is Julius Peppers. And
McCaffrey.
Well, yeah, but on the defensive line is that Julius Peppers, and he's 40.
Right.
He was out there breaking up passes,
Yes. So is that? But even he was that he shouldn't even come to that point. Should not come to the point where Julius Peppers, a 40-year-old player, is the only player on defense that played a down.
Yeah.
252-228-5098.
Boys, bad play calling on the defense. Mediocre looking offense. And, I mean, of course, the plays were just trash.
Everything.
And, of course, the officiating was subpar, but you can't blame it all on that when the team comes out and looks like they do. It's a 4-day week, but Jesus.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be a great team, and it just didn't look like it to me. We're still pounding, but, man. 6-3.
We're still getting pounded.
Oh. Is this the point when the season starts getting long on us? I think it is.
Gosh. This could really be a tailspin game. All right, shout out to everybody on Facebook, Dayton, Jeff Sand, Dayton Henry Jr., Kevin Riggs, Pamela M., and Michael Reap. Mariloose 109 on YouTube, Carter Jacobson, Sean Presley, Tevin, Terrence Murphy, all the people that Apostle Warrior, thank you for joining the show. We're here for you. Get on the couch. The therapy's free tonight. Actually, the only cost is that you turn your phone to portrait mode and you smash the thumbs up button. Maybe even hit the notification bell, because that means that we're therapists on call. Or we'll call you to therapy. Now, the question is this a tailspin or not? And can the Panthers respond? I have 2 points that I think we need to make before we go on to the next call. Number one, Joe, you mentioned several weeks ago, this may have been in week 2, that we looked old.
Yeah.
We didn't look young tonight.
No, we definitely did not. And I think, our rotation isn't as deep as it has been in the past. So you got guys playing more minutes.
Yeah,
and,
that's a good point.
That takes its own toll from the fourth quarter. Guys are running low on fuel.
You got to, and look, it's like you mentioned in the call, 4-day week, coming off a short rest. Yeah, I think they should make the guys that play. I think they should make every team that plays on Thursday night should be coming off a bye.
Yeah, the turnaround that these players have to go through. I mean, their bodies don't have enough time to heal. Richard Sherman put out an article one time that was very illuminating in the Players Tribune of how long it takes their bodies to heal up, and then to play on Thursday. It's just tough as hell.
It's probably already pushing it in 6 days. You could, the bye helps. I think we got to start thinking about some things if we're the NFL. If you really want the product to be good on Thursday night, why don't we consider maybe having 2 byes in the season, extending the season by a week maybe, but not adding games, or I think you got to think this too, is any team that plays an international game should do it should have a bye somewhere around it before it maybe. And these Thursday night games now that had to play some factor in it. And I think that's why I brought up the point of Joey saying the team was old earlier, looked old in the season, is that maybe this is the times that you really feel it is 4 days rest, 2 guys. Those guys are. But my question then, if these are signals of that, maybe, what does that mean for the back end of the season potentially? I mean, do you get old as the season goes on because you just can't? Is Mike Adams at week 15 ready to retire?
Well, also, think of it this way: the last premium draft picks that we made on the defensive line, I mean, that was K'Wan Short. You know, we haven't Taylor Moton's pretty, you know, he's a good player, and we think that he's going to continue to be a good player. You know, but it's time to put a premium first-round draft pick on an offensive lineman or a defensive end.
Supposed to be Coney Ealy, man. No, here, Vernon Butler.
Yeah, but then I know Vernon Butler, but he's not. I mean, he hasn't made a difference to this team.
But
at all.
We allocated a first-round pick for him, and we allocated a second-round pick from Coney Ealy. Coney Ealy bust, or at least we gave. You know, man, it seems like it. And then Butler, people, you know, right now, there's not a lot to defend on anything to the point where he's getting on. This is several weeks this season that he's gotten penalties, whether it be a face mask and this and that. And I could say is that I'm okay with a guy getting a penalty tonight out of being just out of sheer frustration. But now you have to think of that penalty in the collection of his poor play for 3 years or less than impressive play. And then these problems, you know, you're starting to wonder, is it just going to be a fit here? But before we go to the next call, here's my question. My second question, I'll put it to you, Cody. Does Cam Newton, I feel like Cam Newton needs to be the person that calls a team meeting. Mm-hmm. And the team meeting being this is that I failed, you failed, everybody failed in this one. And we're not going to let us fail as a season. Cody, do you think that we need something like that? And don't you think it needs to come from somebody other than Thomas Davis or Greg Olsen? Because that would just feel like it would be almost like just going through emotion at that point. Like, I know those are our guys, but like it's time for, I think, Cam Newton to take on that role.
And I don't know that he hasn't already. You know,
I'm talking about we need a meeting, and guys, we're going to get through this. And he needs to be the one that says it.
I do 100% agree with you, man. I mean, listen, we got our asses whooped in front of the entire country. If we want to salvage this season, you do like you do any other loss. You lick your wounds. You go back home, pout for a day, and then you're done with it. It's time to move forward. And yeah, they all need to be better. Everyone has to be better. I mean, you know, this game was not on Cam Newton. He did make some bad plays, but yeah, that's what happens when you don't have any time to throw the football.
Yeah, but it's not even a time for any excuse at this moment.
Right, none at all. This team played absolute horse doo-doo, and if they don't do something, then the rest of the season will be very, very bad. And we're on the road for what, the next four? We have 5 out of the next 5. I think
4 out of 5 games. We're probably on the road till December 17th when we got to play the Saints at home.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to fix this, it's time to do it now.
I think we got one other team. Joey, the reason I want Cam to do this, Joey, is not because... Yeah, it is Seattle. Joey, the reason I want Cam Newton to do this is not because I don't think he's been a leader. He hasn't been a leader. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that him doing this would be an indication of anything that he's done, but Cam Newton was having his best season of his career going into this game. He's had some trouble in the past with dealing with failure, or at least dealing with it in the way that the media and people need him to deal with it. But this is a game where we were kicked in the nuts so hard that he could have. I don't think that he displayed any of those types of that. Now, I haven't seen the press conference from him just yet, but I felt like he kept that part together, what you have to do as when you're getting beat like that. And I think that this could be a moment where he says to the rest of the country, to the Colin Cowherds, you got me wrong, because this is my team.
I sure hope that it goes down that way. That would be fantastic.
I think it would just be a great step for our organization. And I'm not saying that it's Cam Newton has been any sort of less than leader, is that this is the time where he needs to be our Superman. And he needs to be our Superman in a different way. This time it's not on the field. We need the man of steel in the locker room. Because it's time for the younger generation, for him to show the young cats that is not just Thomas Davis and Greg Olson that will say the right things and work us through these times. It's time to show Cam that Cam Newton is the guy that has even the same level of composure that Ron Rivera, that we think that's steely, like, Ron Rivera's not throwing his clipboard or whatever, is that's what we need this time, is that it's that bad that it's okay. It's so bad it's okay, guys. It's not a pout. It's not a cry. It's time to prove that we are not fools, right? The number is 252-228-5098.
Yo, this is DJ. Yo, tonight was just embarrassing. As a lifelong Carolina Panther fan, I haven't been this embarrassed since 2016. Defense played like trash. Our offense is good, but at the end of the day, I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. I didn't like our defense. We've been giving up way too many points, way too many yards.
It just hasn't been
I've been saying
good.
this since the beginning of the season, and it showed tonight. Something's got to change, or we ain't going nowhere.
Apostle Warrior and a couple people in the chat room are saying this. It's time for Rivera to take over the defensive play calling. Cody, how do you feel about that?
I mean, he's the leader of the football team, and I know that he's very good friends with a lot of the coaches on the staff, but his job is to win football games. And I don't remember when was the last time that we held a team to under 20 points. Was it maybe Philadelphia? Maybe that was it. I mean, they brought up a stat that said the Panthers are the 11th ranked defense in the NFL. And I remember thinking to myself, how? Like, how is that even possible? I mean, we let run plays. We just let them go, man. I mean, the Panthers always stop the run. And that's something that we have not been able to do this year against pretty much anyone.
And not even stop the run. It hasn't even been like, not only have we not been able to stop the run, but the gap, it was so open tonight. Ben Roethlisberger ran for like 20 yards 3 times, I felt like.
Yeah, stiff arming Dontari Poe the entire way, if you also noticed.
We held the Cowboys to 8. Probably our best, only defensive point, 17 for the Eagles. That's it. Everything else has been in 20s and 30s. And now 50s. Jeez. Joey, does that help? Does Ron Rivera taking over the play calling, does it even help? I think, I mean, actually, does that threaten even, what does that do for him as a coach going forward? What kind of statement would that be to temper? There's some things that are, Ron Rivera at this point is probably got to be thinking like, hey, this is so bad. I got to walk carefully for the rest of the season in some ways.
Yeah, I think so, yes. I think it's that bad.
Because, and it's not that it is that this deserves to be fired. I don't say that. It's that it's so bad that you never know what a billionaire could do. It was, like, good God, you never know what a billionaire could do. All right.
I just want to talk about the divisional race after this blowout win by the Steelers.
For who? Us? Well, we could say this is the Steelers. I think that they just solidified their control over the AFC North. They pull ahead of the Bengals. I think he meant us in the NFC South. Is we were one game back. I thought from the Saints. I think we win this game right here tonight, guys, and I feel good about the Panthers winning the division, like with a real shot, being in control of your destiny. Now I don't feel that way anymore. Cody, you said that at the beginning of the show that this changed the way you felt about the team potential going forward. And now the Saints, to me, might as well be 4 games ahead.
And the Falcons might sweep us. How about that? How does that feel? I mean, we still have to play. They might do that to us at home. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, so listen, going back to what J-Dub said, it was like the Pittsburgh Steelers just had a better team. They had better personnel. They have a great offensive line, and they always do. And they have a pass rush that they've invested premium. I mean, they got T.J. Watt. They've put people on their team. I mean, now you look at Atlanta, and they're 4-4 right now. Those final 3 games of the season, dude, that either makes or breaks our season, or it's an absolute nightmare. Both of those teams can put up as many points as they want to.
Steelers fan in the chat room says, don't get down, Panther Nation. Playing on the road on Thursday is a no-win proposition. So there are those factors there, and if there is a silver lining at all, or any hope to be held at this point, that this isn't that this sends us into the tailspin. What's the one thing that maybe gives us the idea that we don't fall apart here is that the Panthers in 2014, did we lose to the Steelers? This is when we need the Shadow Cat. We got to go back and listen to that context of 2014 and what happened with the Steelers. Did we beat the Steelers in 2014? Ron Rivera has been able to hold the team in the locker room through tough times in December. That may help us fight for a wild card, right? But the question I think still remains this, is that while that shows fortitude in our team and heart and fight, is Cody right about this? Is that heart and fight the only thing to be pleased about at that point, because you don't really have what it takes to win at the end? And I don't know, is that just until our offensive line plays better? But I don't know if our defensive line can get the pressure that it's going to take, because our defense doesn't look like it has what it takes. And then you throw in the offensive line, you don't feel good. You feel like, remember when we went, you're getting bounced out in the wild card game. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
Alexis Black comes in here and said, y'all got stomped. And no, y'all didn't beat us in 2014. That's what I'm saying. In 2014, we lost to the Steelers. There we go. And then somehow we saved that season to a point where we won 7-8-1. But I think we won like 5 out of our last 6 games or something crazy at the end.
I think that's right.
It was something like wild about that. So, but I don't know if going on that type of run, if you don't have what it takes to go deep, really matters. But maybe it isn't as bad as it looked at the same time. Maybe this is just a catastrophe in all accounts, and that we're not as good as we thought we could be. But maybe we can't be this bad. We cannot be this bad. We've seen this team. All right, 252-228-5098.
Hey, guys, this is Mel. I got to say, that game was rough. I definitely had to get some liquid encouragement to get through that game.
All right,
you know what I mean? Some taps and stuff. But overall, I'm not too disappointed. I figured we wouldn't
Everybody gets a ribbon when you drink
beaters
Pabst.
in Pittsburgh on Thursday night. I did expect them to be in the game, though, and they gave us a little bit of false hope when they went down the field and scored in the first drive, but then it was all downhill from there. But if you look at it this way, if you want to take an optimistic way, we play our seasons 4 quarters at a time. We had a loss in the first quarter against Atlanta. We had a loss in the second quarter against Washington. This is our 3rd quarter loss, hopefully. Hopefully we can pull out this quarter with no more losses and get to the 4th quarter, and I think we give up that away game to the Saints, and then we're 12-4. So if everything goes as planned as we like in our seasons, hopefully that's how it goes. Keep pounding, guys. See you guys for the Lions.
All right. Last call of the night right now. Next one. Here it is.
Chef Jeff Hodge again. I know I've called a few times. I think my calls are coming in.
Get on the couch.
But,
Get in the couch.
Just to end on a happy note, did anybody see the commercial with Troy Aikman and Joe Buck and Christian McCaffrey? I really liked that. That was definitely pretty funny, and it kind of felt like it was a poke at Joe Buck and them for always ragging on the Panthers. But you know, only silver lining from the game. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, is that he is, you know, I think it's like, it's a Christian McCaffrey's clean. Yay, tie, whatever. I still, you know what, is that Joe Buck sucks. I give credit to Joe Buck tonight for not, this is the night that I could have hated him more, like I could have forever hated him. Actually, I forget it. He was
Joe Buck. I like everyone hates him. I don't understand.
Because he's terrible at football, calling football games. He's a baseball commentator, and for me, it all goes back to one moment where back when they were doing the celebrations, I was thinking about this when, what was it, Michael Thomas did the Joe Horn homage. Is that same year was the year Joe Horn's, well, it might not have been the same year. You had a couple years in the early 2000s, I feel like, or whenever. Joe Horn did the phone. Stevie Johnson did the shirt. Terrell Owens did the sign to football, pulled the Sharpie out of his sock. And my man, my favorite non-Panther of all time, Randy Moss, scores on, I forget who it was, and then he pretended to pull down his pants and rubbed his butt and mooned the goalposts. And Joe, this is when I hated Joe Buck, is because this is, at this point, it became so, he said, this is the most disgusting thing in sports history. And I was like, man, like, oh God, Joe. And
wasn't that Randy Moss?
Yeah, Randy Moss.
Yeah.
So is that, and then I did forever love Randy Moss, and I forever disliked him from that. And then at every turn he's been, so Miranda, my wife, was watching the game with me about this, and she said, well, why do you dislike this Joe Buck guy so much? And I said, look, he's not even being bad this game. In fact, this is the only game, this is his best commentary of the Panthers probably ever. And what Joe Buck never does, it doesn't even matter if he doesn't say anything mean. He's never said anything complimentary. And it's almost the absence of what he says that irks me. And then I still think about how so to him, he's the most disgusting. So I'm holding a grudge. I'm petty, dude. I hate that. But tonight, he was nice. I would say this, is that Troy Aikman and them knew it was so bad, they didn't even pile on.
No, that's it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, they were like ready to go home, just like everybody else was. Just like we are right now. Guys, that's the show. All the calls have come in. We've taken care of them. There's a couple calls that came in before the game. But, guys, there's no need to play your calls at this point where you're saying, I think we're going to win, because I thought we could win. I thought we could win. Didn't know if we would win. Really needed to win. Thought it would be a great win. Totally the worst performance I've ever seen, arguably by any pro team. And this is what it feels like to pull for the Arizona Cardinals right now, or this is what it's felt like to be the Cleveland Browns. It's like, it's so embarrassing. It's like, but we know we have players that aren't that bad. At least those teams you could forgive, because the whole thing was broken and then they never had a chance from the beginning, and they look like the replacements out there. But we look like the replacements out there tonight.
Yeah, bad. But you know what, though? We still need to do our dab on them folks.
Oh, okay.
We have to sift through the wreckage and find some glimmer of hope. We should do it.
All right, here you go. I'll give you that.
I just like doing it, man. Dab on them folks. Dab on them folks. And that dab on them folks. They like seeing it. Tell me what to do. Dab on them folks.
All right. Cody, you brought up this terrible idea. You go first.
I did, man. Christian McCaffrey had 3 touchdowns tonight, man. He was in an awesome Titan commercial that everyone seemed to enjoy. And, yeah, man, I think that, now it's 100% official. This offense, obviously the quarterback, Cam Newton, goes without saying. But this offense does live and die by the production of Christian McCaffrey. And that's not an exaggeration, man.
He's been tremendous this season. He's been incredible. You're right.
Incredible, right? I mean, that first drive when we actually had a little bit of hope, man, he was brilliant.
And
absolutely
the second,
awesome.
anytime we actually did anything on offense, he was part of it. Even when the plays were breaking down, he spun out of something, and it was like, thank you for getting a half of an inch.
Yeah, man, he fights for every yard, every inch.
He's good.
You have to love that man. You have to.
All right, that's Cody's dab on him. Joe, you got one?
Yeah, mine goes to Graham Gano. He made every kick he tried and got the ball out of the end zone every time.
Yeah, hey. So dab on him, Graham Gano. Mine goes to David Tepper because while he may be upset and salty that he goes back to Pittsburgh and do all this, he's worth $11 billion. So you know what is that I'm sure that his sadness will only last for about no seconds. Disappointment maybe. But then what I would do is this: anytime I ran into disappointment in my life, I would just check my bank account.
Yeah. have a nap. Have a nap on your private jet.
Yeah.
Have some caviar. And then wake up tomorrow.
I'm so sad on my private jet with caviar, watching my wealth grow and grow and grow. So sad. That's my dab on him pick. David Tepper. 11 billion times you can dab on him. David Tepper. All right, guys, the C3 podcast goes down on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. It's live. We're on YouTube, Periscope, Periscope, and Facebook. What I want you to do is that we gave you free therapy tonight, and we'll give you more free therapy over the next 10 days. So give us something, and it's free. Turn your phone to portrait mode, smash the thumbs up button, crush that notifications bell, write a review of the podcast because you can do good in the world. Unlike the Panthers tonight, you can do good in the world by rating, reviewing, and sharing our podcast on anywhere that you hang out and talk about the Panthers. My name's Tony Dunn. You can follow me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. Joe, they can follow you at Joe Riolano, correct?
That is correct. I will be there waiting.
And Cody Lashney, tell them what your handle is.
At Cody Lax, CODYLAC. I'll talk about anything you want to, man. We'll talk about Parcheesi. I don't even know what the hell that is, but I'll talk to you about it. Let's go, man.
We got plenty of time to talk about it on the couch. We'll see you on Tuesday, the day after, a couple of days after my birthday. We'll get this done. Then we'll get our feelings out on Tuesday, guys. We'll get the last little bit of it out, right? Like the last colon cleanse comes on Tuesday.
Okay.
And then the next week we go and beat down Detroit, and we come back and we say this is blip. All right? All right, yeah. C3 Podcast. See you then.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Place your money line, prop, and parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Iowa only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.